What is going on, guys? It's Steeler here, back again with yet another RDX podcast with the largest panel. Well, not quite, actually. We did have an all-star podcast one weekend, but with one of the largest panels ever assembled on the channel. Tons of great guys here. We got a bunch of great topics. Shout out to the two fuck faces that already hit the dislike button. And you know what? I'm going to start with some intros while we round some people in here. We don't want to repeat everything we say towards the beginning of the show. We got some great topics. We'll ramp those up as we go. Starting with Crap. Thanks for coming through, brother.
Hey, no problem, man. I'm always happy to talk about some Xbox stuff, especially Gamescom, which, you know, there's a normal amount of people that are hating on that. I actually liked it. So, I mean, I'm happy to kind of talk about what we saw. Maybe there was a few things, obviously, that weren't as pleasing, but overall, man, I ain't going to complain about it. So I'm happy to be here and talk some Gamescom and some Xbox.
I mainly just had one complaint, which was legitimate. I really think they should never do that again. We'll talk about that. And then another minor one. But other than that, man, for people that were wanting to just watch gameplay and see some new stuff, and you weren't queued up on the leaks and weren't expecting things, because obviously, you know, leaks like that, it's never been that inaccurate before that I can remember. Crap.
I can't remember either, because supposedly that all access and the Elite 2 are things, they're real. So the fact that we didn't get them there leads me to believe that we're going to get some other kind of show.
Like, we weren't like overhyping anything. I heard this from two different people that I've gotten several things from, and I'm like, okay, well, they've always been pretty accurate before, and it's like somebody at Microsoft said, "Fuck you guys," and you know, I don't know. We'll talk about all of that. Noof Nukem, brother, what's going on?
Noof Nukem, it's me, Noof Nukem in the room. Well, there goes my intro. I was going to keep it short, like Peter Dinklage short, but Crap beat me to it. What's up, guys? It's going to be one hell of a show. Let's get ready to roll. Thanks for having me, Peter.
Dorothy Batch, the Sultan of Goats, man. How you been?
Man, I'm good, man. This Gamescom is turning out better than I expected. The video, the PC stuff, all the Xbox.
He's got a monocle in his eye right now when he's talking. Pretty well, man. Yeah.
No, but for real, I'm really excited to talk about today's topics, man. We saw some really interesting stuff at Gamescom, so I'm ready.
All right, it's good to hear. Salty, thanks for coming through.
Hey, I'm here to balance out Crap. I'm gonna be negative as fuck, so let's go.
Well, balance is everything. So Shady at the Sesh Empire. How you been?
I've been damn good, man. Happy to be here. A lot of stuff to talk about today. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to Agent Spoonman of the Sesh Empire. He's got $500,000 in GTA 5 money to give away today in a code in the chat. So if you play the game, keep your eyes out there.
Keep an eye out.
I tried to have him bribe me, but he wouldn't have it. He'd rather give it to his peers. Kudos to that. So keep an eye out for that guy.
You can imagine if Shady was like of law enforcement. Hey, do you want to bribe me? I mean, I'm willing to look the other way. He'd be very direct. Hey, we've also got Dazarus, UK Daz, man. I've been trying to get you in the show for a little bit. Things lined up. The stars aligned. Welcome.
Yeah, man. How's it going, Dealer Blue? Appreciate being on the show. Been trying to get on here a while. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah. We got some anybody in the chat you want to translate for Daz throughout the show? Feel free.
Yeah, just say beer.
he's gonna say something, and then we're gonna chat what he say and just put a beer emoji. But nonetheless, as I do every show, we've got to thank the sponsors, the Patreon sponsors. Starting with Channing Pennington, we've got John Yoon, we've got Mel S. Chief Exec, we got Early Mendenthal, we got Guillermo Cabillo, we've got Lethal Papa, Biggie 2316, and the Darge Knight, who I forgot last month because of an error. My bad. So thank you guys for being in the sponsor tier of the podcast. We appreciate it. And we're starting out by saying that Tomb Raider looks like trash on a $1,200 PC. Crap, what were your thoughts on this whole Destin Legary thing? What's going on here?
I thought it was funny because, you know, he's like, look, I'm not really impressed with the graphics on there. And you click on it and they look like 360 graphics or something. So naturally, I'm just like, but the main thing is I don't want to talk really bad about it because I'm not a PC guy. Yeah. So I know the minute I'm like, oh man, that looks like shit and it's going to be much better on the X, somebody's going to do something with that and it's going to be like turned into much more than it is. But I have to say,
mistake. I mean, it will look best on PC, but it was on.
Like if you have a certain, like that was a $1,200 card though, right? So you would expect it to look much better because we've seen Xbox One X footage and it looks phenomenal. It looks amazing.
That's
So-
the thing when you say it will look best on PC, right? I mean, everyone acts like everyone's PC can do the top specs at the top resolutions, and a very small percentage of PCs will have the best versions, quote unquote. But
when people tell me that, they're like, it's gonna be best on PC, and I'm like, whose, man? Not mine. So that's always my first comeback with that. Like, to me, it was like, oh man, that looks bad, but that looks bad on the developer. And Destin Legary is just like, I don't know, man. For me, I'm excited about the game. But you do have to worry a little bit, I guess, if they can't even at their own event, I guess they can't even get that looking any better than that. Shit, man. Fire up a 360, it would have looked better.
You know what? I'm not. Digital Foundry went over the Xbox One X version, and it looked fucking fire. It looked amazing. It ran
4K.
perfectly. He said that they optimized the CPU, and the 60 frames mode is even better than it was apparently. And this is like a month before launch, so. Apparently, the console version is going to be fucking great. D-Batch, do you think an AMD employee stuck in there and lowered all the settings?
What the problem is with that test they were doing with that game, they were running a 2080 Ti and they had the ray tracing on. So apparently, with the ray tracing on that GPU at 1080p, it's doing between 30 and 60 frames per second.
Jesus.
And I'm hearing that the ray tracing itself, it kind of gives like a film to it, like a sheet on it, like it's not completely clean.
It's like first generation ray tracing. It'll probably get better.
Right. So so basically what I'm deducting from this is that it did say it was an alpha, so it is an alpha. To be honest with you, when the game launches, it's not going to launch with the ray tracing. That's going to come in a later patch. So, they're going to obviously have to work out the kinks. And once it's running without ray tracing, it's going to look phenomenal, But I did see the X version, and the X version, wow, it looked fantastic, man. Like, good job.
Looked really good. That's probably, honestly, I got to say it, my most anticipated game right now this year. So, I mean, and not that there's not a ton of great competition, right? So, I don't know. I just really like the first game. So, I know the rest of you probably don't give two shits about this, but I did want to bring it up because some people were thinking it was a console version for some reason. No, that was running on a $1,200 graphics card, probably a $3,000 PC. And for some reason, the software wasn't up to snuff and it was looking like trash, apparently. So, but the console version is supposed to look pretty fire. So, I just figured I'd mention that.
I thought it was just because that's what happens when you let your tech guy out for a huge night of getting schmammered and smoking some rocks.
I don't think so. Maybe he's smoking some rocks, but I have no clue. Hey, you know what else apparently looks like trash, according to some of these radicals out here, is Forza Horizon 4 getting downgraded, right? Does anybody believe this for a millisecond, or do you just do you just know that maybe somebody's just an idiot?
I smell shit here somewhere. What's going on? No, these guys are idiots, man. There's no fucking downgrading in Forza Horizon. Game looks phenomenal. Even the footage you showed today looked phenomenal, in my opinion. I mean, some of the best environmental effects, environments, and things that we've ever seen in a racing game, period. It's going to be dynamite. That whole offline mode and then the online mode as well. So you can choose to race the avatars or have, race an open living world against other players. It's just going to be a phenomenal game, man. It is Playground Studios. It is Forza Horizon 4. Mark my words, best racing game this year, hands down. Not to worry, guys. It's in good hands.
Yep, that's true. And I want to throw it to Daz, but I will say that you honestly think it's going to look like people out there pushing this narrative. You really think it's going to look worse than Forza Horizon 3?
Nah. Well,
it already looks very similar, right? Like, you think it's going to look worse than Forza Horizon 3 at all, Daz?
Nah, man, what a load of bollocks, mate. I put about fucking 20 days into Forza Horizon 3 and looking at Forza Horizon 4, it's gone above the bar, mate. What a load of bollocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of common sense.
Beer.
Somebody knows drinking too much beer in her cross.
Basically, he said, "What a bunch of bullshit." He's
got a load of bollocks. A load of bollocks. Yeah. There's only stick figure that can't understand me because he's Australian. He should be all right, crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Beer.
Let me call on the interpreter from the Sesh Empire. I'll be here in a few minutes.
You know what? It's so funny. Being from Canada, I understand him perfectly.
Thank you.
That is true.
I thought I stood a chance. I was listening to Bone Thugs at like 8 years old, and I can't. It ain't translating very well. So, what I can say is, there's no way in hell this game looks worse than Forza Horizon 3. It looks similar already, and I don't know. Maybe it was a bad stream. Some people forgot to pay their internet bill. What do you think, Salty?
What is this narrative about downgrades? People are always reaching for, oh, this game's downgraded. We always hear it about these big games, especially Xbox games, So it's just that narrative they always go for, and the game comes out and it looks fucking outstanding. They're just trying to generate some negative press.
It's kind of odd too, because in not the last RDX one for that, we were talking about how Spider-Man got upgraded. The opposite. Yeah. It's not that hard, just don't be a fuckface.
I think the stream was in 1080p though. Usually they do their streams in 4K. Today it wasn't in 4K, it was 1080p. So I don't know, maybe some people were seeing the difference in the resolution. Maybe it didn't look as sharp to them for that reason. I don't know. But the game looked fantastic still.
Yeah, looked great. Anybody else got anything to add on this Horizon deal? I'm stoked for this game.
I think it looks amazing. I don't know what they were talking about, like going off of some of the feed footage and stuff. I thought it still looked amazing what they showed off. So very excited for the game. I wish I would have done a custom console for that game, but other than that, I was really happy with what they showed off.
Yeah, me too. And we're going to talk about custom consoles. That's going to be a heavy subject tonight, and there's people already. I don't care what color trust me. If your Xbox One X was beige, you would give a fuck what color it was. All right, so we're all going to talk about that. I want to thank you guys. Almost 400 already watching. Hit that like button. Maybe share this bitch on Twitter. Help us out a little bit as we move on to Battlefield 5. Apparently, the pre-orders. There's a lot of drama queen channels going around talking about this right now. It's kind of a heavy subject. Battlefield 5. Apparently, it's being outclassed by Call of Duty in pre-orders right now, apparently due to all this controversial stuff. But Call of Duty's pre-orders are apparently 85% higher than Battlefield 5, and everyone's saying Battlefield's dead and blah blah. Battlefield will be fine. What do you guys kind of think about this, Salty?
Hey, shout out to Mooch, because we called it on Xbox Nation. We said this game was trash. We said it wasn't gonna sell that well, and then a lot of people are trying to blame it on this whole controversy surrounding women and all this stuff. And it's like, maybe you guys should just analyze the game and see that it's a glorified DLC. You go from World War I to World War II. It looks the same to me.
What?
The game looks like trash. It plays like trash. I love Battlefield, but I played Battlefield 1, and it just didn't feel like a Battlefield game to me. So Mooch will tell you how he feels there too. But I'm not surprised at all.
I can't wait to hear which macaroni is the best, but I'll get Mooch on here and ask him about it. But personally, I can't say that it plays like trash. I haven't played it. I know it looks amazing. I know there's much more customization in the last game, which is really what killed Battlefield 1 for me. I got bored. Shady, I heard you have a panic attack in the background. What are your thoughts?
I just don't think it looks like an expansion at all. World War 1 and 2 aren't that similar. There's way more stuff in World War 2. This game itself just has 10 times the color, let alone, just expanded everything. Everywhere you look in the trailers, there's epic amounts of color screaming off the screen, man. I like what I'm seeing. It's got huge amounts of destruction. Fantastic. I'm not a fan of the amount of females jammed in there myself. It's not going to prevent me from buying the game. I think it looks good. I haven't pre-ordered it yet because I'm still hoping last second they're going to bring some badass EA access to Xbox and bring all those games day and date.
The funny thing is, people were saying, "Oh, Call of Duty's dead. Call of Duty's trash. It's going to get outsold by Battlefield." Man,
no.
Look at the results.
Right on that part.
So.
Call of Duty always outsells it, so it doing bigger pre-orders doesn't surprise me at all.
I mean, the pre-order numbers speak volumes to where the game is at, though, and there's a reason why the dude from EA stepped down. So,
yeah, they said he just kind of left and they wanted to keep him, but it's hard to believe after all the controversy surrounding EA here recently. Daz, have you been kind of keeping up with this at all?
Well, Battlefield's not on my go-to game, you know what I mean? But I'll just wait for it to come in the vault. I don't pay for EA for fuck all, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it looks all right as it is. I don't know what all the fucking hate is. Oh, fear, if you can't understand it. There you go. And Indie Gamer in the chat, shout out to Indie Gamer, he's my translator.
Yeah. All right.
So there you go.
Yeah, thank you, Indie Gamer. We'll send you some Chuck E. Cheese tokens as soon as.
Yeah, there you go. You might get that GTA code yet. You never know.
Hey, new. Which one of these games are you looking forward to?
Like last year, people were really excited to get back into sort of like the World War era. You know, when Battlefield 1 came out, you know, there was that anticipation because, you know, we hadn't really seen a Battlefield for quite some time that went, you know, back to the World War era prior to like the Battlefield 1942 series. So there was a lot of excitement. Same thing, it builds with Call of Duty World War II, but, you know, 3 and 4 games in a row, it really doesn't matter which franchise is doing it. It just, you all of a sudden start to get a little bit of that fatigue. You know, it's no different than if, you know, there were 20 different sci-fi shooters coming out at the same time. You're going to pick one and the rest are going to fall by the wayside. Plus it's going up against Black Ops. I mean, regardless of the campaign, it's Black Ops. It's probably the most prestigious Call of Duty name in the franchise, and it's Treyarch. I mean, I've heard a lot of mixed things on it, and I don't want to be like dissing the game. I haven't played it. I don't really care for it, and I definitely don't care for Battlefield 5. I mean, it looks fantastic, like you said, Dealer. Graphically, it looks as good, if not better, than any previous Battlefield game. And I'm sure it's going to have lots of cool modes. I think they even have like a battle royale mode in there as well, where like the flame area closes in on people, which looks pretty cool. But again, I'm just not interested. I'm just kind of worn out on shooters, and I'm certainly worn out on that idea. So it's a big pass for me. I think it looks good, but who knows? This game could be in the bargain bins early this year.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to Griffin, big supporter of the show. Thanks for the super chat, man. And I'm glad the Mari Povich content's working out for you, brother. Good job. Also, hey, I'm looking forward to the game. I think it looks great. It's going to look phenomenal. HDR and Battlefield 1 is fire, and I cannot wait to see this one. Hopefully they've got more guns, more attachments, all the good stuff, because that's kind of Battlefield 1 shortcoming, in my opinion. And also bullet damage and the way the guns operate in that game, I don't necessarily care for, but at the end of the day, I don't know. It's going to be the shooter I'm playing this fall, so I'm definitely skipping on Call of Duty. And anybody else got anything else to say at all about crap? Are you getting Battlefield 5 at all?
I'm gonna test it out in the vault and see. I mean, not the vault, but EA Access at first, and check it out and see what's up. Because there's a lot of stuff coming out this year, so I don't know if that's one that I'm in a hurry to get. I'm not getting Black Ops 4 at all, but if I was gonna get one, I'd get Battlefield. But with Red Dead 2 and Tomb Raider and Forza, there's just a lot to get, and you know that may be one that I put on the back burner.
That's a good point, though, Crap. Do you think that EA Access potentially is killing pre-sale numbers? Because you just said, I'm going to wait for it, and maybe a lot of people are doing the same.
You know what? I'm not really sure. Like, apparently I read today that everything is under tracking pre-orders except for Red Dead 2. So everything. So like, it's, you know, that's pretty telling to me. I think that pre-orders don't necessarily mean because I remember them saying that pre-orders were soft on God of War.
Well, that was before the game had a date, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure it'll probably all work out in the end for it. You know, if it gets some good reviews, I think that's going to help. You know, if it gets some real positive reviews, because once that starts happening, people get interested and they're like, oh, let me get this game. I worry more about Rise of the Tomb Raider or Shadow of the Tomb Raider doing well than Battlefield. I think Battlefield is gonna do well like it always does. But Rise of the Tomb Raider is a game that I think people are just kind of pushing to the wayside, and that's unfortunate because it looks amazing.
It does. And you know what? It's not like they can just push things to early next year, because early 2019 is perhaps the most packed any year's been this generation. So you've got and help me out if I'm missing one here. You've got Anthem, you've got Crackdown, you've got Metro, you've got The Division 2, you've got Resident Evil 2 Remake, you've got Kingdom Hearts, right? That's already 6. You've got, did I say Crackdown?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So, I mean, I know I'm missing 1 or 2. I know I am.
Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry. So that's 7. And I'm, like I said, I know I'm missing 1 or 2.
Days Gone.
Say what? Days Gone?
Days Gone.
Yep. That's 8.
Kingdom Hearts. That's starting next year.
I already said that one. Yeah. So that's 8 that we can just remember off the top of our heads here. So that's a ridiculous beginning to 2019, and it makes you wonder what's on the back half. I got a feeling we're going to be hearing about that Rocksteady game, or even that Crystal Dynamics game as well. So they can't just push it back, can they?
Yeah, I don't think they can. Yeah, I think that you know, and we also got the Devil May Cry game is March 8th. Yeah, like there's a ton of games coming out. It's going to be difficult to really to place where would you put a game at this point? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. If anything, they better move Crackdown forward, like because Phil said it would be done by holiday, but he doesn't want it to get destroyed by all the holiday games, right?
Yeah.
And then they put it February 22nd along with every other thing. And, you know, I mean, I think it's much better if they just moved it up to January because they can't push it back another day. That would be another delay, right? So
push it
they
forward.
would get destroyed.
Speaking of Crackdown, where was that? You know, I think Gamescom would be a perfect opportunity to show it since it's so close to release. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to do another show this year, I think that would be the last time that we'd have a chance to see it.
So, yeah.
Hey, Carmos in the Super Chat, brother. Thank you. He says, great panel, great show. Beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely have no room there. So it's once again, it's pretty crazy. Hey, Crap, did you know that we've got 5 legendary Xbox exclusives headed to PC?
Yeah, legendary, man. I'm bummed out. I'm sorry to see such amazing games as Recore and Zoo Tycoon go to Steam.
Super Lucky's Tale too.
Super Lucky's Tale. I am floored.
Disney Pixar Rush, right?
Jesus, man, save us some, guys. Come on, Microsoft. What are you guys doing, man? You're taking all of our exclusives and putting them on Steam. Come on.
Hey, I don't give a shit where they go. I don't know why people look at that as such a bad thing.
I don't either.
I hate options. Don't put it on PC.
Hey, if you're going to put it on PC anyway, like Windows, you might as well put it where somebody actually has a chance to buy it.
Windows Store is trash.
Yeah, nobody's going to buy it on Windows Store. So if you want to make some money off of it, then put it on Steam. You know, I don't have a problem with it. You know, like I'm fine with it. I thought it was funny because people were actually going around saying that, oh, you guys lost them. Oh, you're exclusives. And it's just, you know, one of those things where you just kind of shake your head.
It's like, why do you think I care?
Yeah, like you lost.
It's not my exclusive. You know? We get to play Spider-Man. Everyone's playing Spider-Man. Everyone's got a PS4, asshole.
Yeah, everyone's got a PS4, but we all just have $15,000 PCs to play all those Xbox games.
Hey, Eternal Shadow in the Super Chat says if it was Bad Company 3, it would save EA. I don't know, man. That's I would much prefer Battlefield Bad Company 3. Am I alone here? Anybody else? Nobody?
Bad Company was good, but in all honesty, I think the game's going to do fine. I think people are just overreacting to it. First of all, Battlefield's never traditionally sold as much as Call of Duty, so I don't know why people are surprised by that. This game is going to have ray tracing on the PC, so all these guys getting their 2080s and 2080 Ti NVIDIA cards, they're going to want to fire this game up to test out ray tracing. And I did see the ray tracing in the game, and it looks fantastic. It's a great looking game. I think it'll do fine. People have Origin or their Origin accounts on Xbox, so some of them are going to wait to get it. On PC, you got the Origin Premiere, and the Origin Premiere, you get the game, you get all their games launch day. So I think a lot of people are going to be using those methods too. So I think that has to count into some of these numbers as well. But I think the game's going to do fine.
Hey,
I'm happy. I'm excited.
Honestly, if it was Bad Company, a new one, that thing would fucking sell. I don't know why they didn't do that. I swear it would sell.
Yeah, I think it kind of is Bad Company on the low. When you watch the campaign trailers, the characters are kind of tongue-in-cheek and kooky, and you know, with the robot arm and everything. It's not those characters, but it's not. Dude, it's not dead serious World War II. That's obvious. It's a little bit.
Would you say the 10 times the color? It's not.
Yeah, there's way more color, but they're like robot arms, chicks everywhere. They're all joking with each other.
Hey, that robot arm does 2,500 RPM. All right,
it's Bad Company. I think it's Bad Company style, and the fact that it's kind of joking around while having a war game.
I don't know if it's joking around because you're half RoboCop, but I can say
that beyond that, like, I mean, even in the trailer, they're dropping jeeps on guys. The plane is crashing and hitting the dude. Like, it just seems a little bit, I don't know, slapsticky. Even it's not as serious as people think.
Hence the pre-order sales, but not Bad Company. Right?
Bad Company was very tongue in cheek and not serious either. It was total joke, right? I just think it's similar in that aspect, but not exactly the same.
Well, let us know what you think, chat. I don't know. I don't even remember what these two motherfuckers are talking about. So I do want to talk about something that's really going to put us all to sleep real quick. Nintendo apparently rumored to be doing an iterative upgrade as well with Tegra X2. It goes from 4 gigs of memory. Oh my god!
What was that?
Somebody ate a giraffe.
Is that a predator?
Hey, D, you finally might get your 4K dock, man.
There we go. I told you it was coming.
Yeah, right. You just guessed, and it hasn't even happened yet. Calm down. So it doubles from 4 gigs to 8 gigs of RAM in the Tegra X2. It's going to be a little faster. There's supposed to be Nintendo Switch Pro only games, like Resident Evil 2 Remake might only be available on that one and not the base Switch, but all Nintendo first-party games will be on all Switches. I don't know. Is that even sustainable? Are third parties even going to... Would they even target the only top model, shit?
Real quick, dealer, I swear to God, there was a guy that was trolling with the tweet that I saw on Twitter. He was screwing with people. He literally put out the specs for a new Switch being a troll. It was supposed to be a troll tweet, and I swear these gaming companies, like the people that write articles, the reason why they wrote this was because of that tweet. I swear to God, I know. It.
I've had it happen. I called the Xbox Scarlet. I called the xCloud one night at like 12:45 a.m. I woke up and saw there was a story at 6 a.m.
Exactly.
Where motherfuckers was calling it xCloud. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Is that really?" So like I know no one else said that before.
It's like Anchorman when he reads whatever's on the teleprompter. These fuckers, you could put anything out. Just anybody write a tweet out, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's
hey,
breaking news."
Knows better than most, man. He had an article written about him when Assassin's Creed was supposed to hit that 60.
Man. Latest expansion.
hey, D did say in this video that he was told by the guy manning the Ubisoft booth, which turned out to be some stupid fuck. That it would 60. So I've always kind of backed you up there, D.
Yeah.
But in either case, expect a new Nintendo Switch. Perhaps it's rumored to be 2019 as well. A little faster, a little better.
I know they do have another revision out. A lot of people probably don't know this, but they had to change the chipset in a little bit because their system got compromised, like fully compromised. So
meaning like somebody jailbroke it or what?
Yeah, it's been jailbroken. Yeah, it's jailbroken. So
shocker.
So
I tried to Shawshank my PS4 last week, but it's already been too far along updated. I was pissed. I was pissed.
And that system is compromised to a level that it's just compromised. There's nothing they can do. So they had to actually revise the Switch to close that exploit. So so I could see them maybe in the process when they were doing that and say, you know what, let's just make another system altogether that can compete with these next gen systems that are coming out soon. So I don't think it's out the question, and it'd be good if they had backwards.
Well, it ain't competing with nothing even out today, but it's competing with itself. That's why it's so successful anyway.
Zero chance of this. Marcus Sellers is the source. He's the guy that said that they were gonna for sure get Xbox games on the Switch at E3 announced. Yeah, he that's that guy. So yeah, I don't.
Booty.
Yeah.
Well, he's been right before though.
Yeah, but he usually
he clearly pulled that out of his
Yeah, I mean that could be a troll thing. I don't even know, but yeah, I don't think that they're gonna do like they're known for revising stuff. But that would just they got a lot of momentum with the Switch right now, and then they're going to be like, oh, here's another one. I think they will eventually come out with something down the line, but I don't think so soon.
Yeah, it'll have different iterations like the 3DS, different colors and all that junk. It'll happen, but I mean, as far as an impressive or legitimate upgrade to its hardware, I don't see that happening at all for the Switch. I think they're going to stay the course. They're selling quite well right now, and so
like hotcakes, unbelievable.
I would be impressed if they did, but I'm even more impressed that we didn't lose like 500 people watching because we're talking about Nintendo. So I want to say thanks to over 500 people watching this, guys. Hit that like button if you can. Maybe share this somewhere. We appreciate it. PlayStation 5, according to one analyst, getting delayed. Crap Gamer, it's delayed. It could be delayed. It's scheduled for 2019 apparently, but shortcomings or basically lack of stock could push it back into 2020. Do you believe a goddamn thing about this?
Yeah, well, I never thought it was going to be 2019 anyway, despite Colt Eastwood telling me that it was coming in 2019.
Yeah.
I always suspected 2020. So I do think we'll see probably 2020, and it'll be.
Colt's video was very convincing, though.
It was the amount of views on there.
It was so pristine.
Yeah, some people think that 100,000 is a lot of views, but I think 2 million is a lot of views.
3.5
million is even more. So yeah, insane numbers. Just views alone mean that's right. So I was
Hey,
thinking,
you gotta give
hey,
it. You
man.
gotta admit it though. The guy made it like a year ago, and
Yeah.
I mean back then it didn't seem so close. You know? Seemed
Yeah,
like,
that's true. You know, but the thing is, the PS4 is doing so well, and I think that they really want to get everything they can out of it. I do think it's suspicious that they didn't announce release years even for anything they showed at E3.
Mhm.
So I think those could be like cross-gen games. But I still think 2020 is going to be when they're going to come out, and that really bodes well for Microsoft in their next Xbox as well. I think they're going to shoot for 2020 as well.
That's
And,
what I was
I
asking. Like, what does Sony have game wise confirmed for next year? I mean, I'm sure we'll get Days Gone and maybe Last of Us or something, which I think that's kind of.
Well, yeah, they got Shenmue 3. Woo!
Wow, aren't the first two the first two are coming to Xbox, right?
They are. I'm playing them.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
man.
Shenmue's
Are
coming.
they,
to Xbox, the
are they
third
still
one.
trash or what?
They're clunky as hell. They handle like trash. Man.
So does that mean they're great?
Oh, I'm sure. You know what? Look, if you like those games originally, you're still gonna like them. But holy hell, do they control bad? They just really bad. Yeah. I mean,
But what do you know about the Fuwo Do crap?
I don't know. I'm looking for sailors right now, but not just any sailors. Just yeah. You know what's cool is you can probably beat the first one and get all 1,000 gamer score. I like it started to come back to me what to do during the game. It does handle like crap, looks like crap. There's no textures on anything, so yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you like those games, you'll like them. If you're looking to get into Shenmue, you're probably not going to like it from just those games.
There's a lot of people that are going to get
bad.
into it that they listen to people overhype it.
Yeah.
And it just there's a reason that a lot of us don't hype those types of games. If you like them, if you're into Yakuza and all that stuff, you might like Shenmue. But
the thing is, man, I played the first one on the Dreamcast, man, so I knew what I was getting into. But I just when you play in 2018 and you play a game that came out in like 99 or 2000 or whatever it was, man, and they control like that because you got to remember the Dreamcast didn't have 2 sticks to control, so it's weird, right? So
but it had a memory card that had a battery in it. And when it died, you lost all your save data, so it was really forward thinking.
Well, you can change things around. You know what is cool about that though? You can go to the arcade and play Space Harrier and some other game, Sega game or something. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
On a positive note, you don't need textures to succeed. Just look at PUBG. You know.
This is true. This is
you
true.
don't even need frames to succeed.
That's right.
But hopefully we get some of those textures with that official launch though, and next month.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking forward to that.
You know, you don't even got to be funny. No shit about anything. Have production. Nothing to succeed.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and the latest drug is called Shenmue.
Oh, I booched a copy, so I'm not feeling too bad about it.
Oh man, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Did you hear that Yoshida, the first time he played God of War, he was horrified?
Yeah, I saw something. I didn't read the article though. Why was he horrified?
He did not. He apparently the game was in a really. This was like 5 months before, and you guys know I fucking loved God of War. You loved God of War, but he played it about 5 months before it came out, and the frame rate was so fucking horrible. Some stuff it just didn't feel right to play, and he just didn't like it. And apparently he just was really nervous about that game, and they whipped who's Corey Barlog, right? He's the leader of that team. He kind of whipped the team and said, "Hey, get this frame rate under control." And he came back and played it and really liked it the second time. I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is. I mean, lucky they went with the game anyway. Huh? It's a big success. Imagine if they didn't. You know, that'd be an interesting situation. But yeah, like that game's really good. I guess it just goes to show that you know you got to have some faith sometime when you're releasing those games.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft.
Yeah. I got to give it to Sony too, because the original concept that Sony Santa Monica brought Sony, like it was more of a God of War Ascension continuation, same style. Sony said, "Get the fuck out of here with this. Come back with a reboot and change this. We don't want another God of War 3 or Ascension style game because Ascension flopped critically and sales wise, I guess, according to what they were wanting, and they came back with one of the best games I've played." So.
Yeah, amazing game. Yeah, well, Ascension sucked, and then they tacked on a multiplayer. Like the campaign was like 4 hours, and then they tacked on a multiplayer, so it wasn't good. It was their judgment, their Gears of War judgment, right? So they came back with something completely different, and I think that's why it's okay for Microsoft to do some changes that they're doing with the next Gears. maybe change it up a little bit. I think that's a smart move on their part. A little bit more open world, a little change with the characters and stuff like that. So, you got to take a little bit of risk sometimes, man. I'm down with that, man. And props to them for taking a little bit of risk with that game, because
you got it, man.
Yeah.
You got it, because your classic legends, right? Your legendary characters, your Nathan Drakes, your Kratos, whatever else PlayStation has. Same for Microsoft, Master Chief, Marcus Phoenix. These guys aren't going to last forever. So they knew that they wanted to continue with Kratos. There was life, even though there's like 14 games, I think, across all the platforms. They knew there was a lot of life left in that lore, and they said, hey, we have to do a really, really hard reboot and fundamentally change how God of War plays to bring new life into the franchise. And you might see Microsoft do the same thing in the next 5-6 years with some of their franchises. Like, you just got a hard reboot, like a reimagining, pretty much,
Yep.
So I got a RDX sponsor question by Biggie2316. He wants to know, and help us along in the chat as well. We want to know what you guys have to think on this, because it's a really, really good question. When it comes to next generation consoles, what would an Xbox or PlayStation have to do to make you say, okay, no matter what, I have to own this? There's a part 2, and we'll kind of come to that after this one. But what would an Xbox Scarlet and the PS5 have to do to say, no matter what, I have to own this console? It is a must buy. And I'll start with Noof.
Blow me away with the next Halo game. Simple as that. All I need is a Halo to get me started. Gears of War keeps me there. I'm good to go. Yeah, it's the same old. You're going to get lots of hate for liking Gears and Halo, but hey, man, they're multi-billion-dollar franchises for a fucking reason. People like them. People play them. Somewhat more than I can say for a lot of the games that other people like to hype around the community that are pretty much dead after a week. But those games are
here. Let me ask you a question real quick. What if that same Halo Infinite is pretty much all but confirmed to be on last gen Xboxes as well? So what if you could play that same experience on Xbox that we have today? Shout out to Raphael in the super chat, brother. Thanks.
It's always tough. I mean, because I do want to see that game. I mean, whatever comes out for the next gen consoles, PS5, the next Xbox, I wanted to do something that stands out, that basically I look at it and instantly go, now that's next gen. That looks like something that just isn't going to happen or happen very well on the other console. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to pinpoint it down.
Something you haven't seen.
Yeah, something you really haven't seen, or graphics to the level that you just know that if they can even get this to run on the older hardware, it's just not going to be the same experience.
Gotcha. And you know what? You guys should just chime in, because if we go each person, it's going to take a year or so. For me personally, if the next, I'm getting it anyway, but if the next gen consoles have 60 frames per second, extremely commonly across the board, with the Ryzen CPU, it'll be definitely more than possible. Physics have got to step up, animations, destruction. I want more detail and bigger worlds, and I think I'm going to get all that. So it's not really a hard thing for me to say, but real quick, guys, go ahead and chime them off. What do you want?
For me, it would be ray tracing. If it has ray tracing, I got to get that system.
Okay.
I'd like a foot massager if that came with one.
Foot massager. Shady, what about you?
I was going to say I want to talk to it like the enterprise computer and have a conversation. That'd be cool.
All right, so you want to be Joaquin Phoenix and her. All right, what about you, Daz?
A beer maker in 60 frames per second, mate. Awesome.
All right, there you go. Fuck. Yeah. Frame rate is king, people. Crap. Did you already answer this?
No, you know what? I just I like the latest and greatest, man. If it supports VR, I'm there.
All right. And anybody else I might have missed? I don't know.
Simply existing will get me in. I'm not going to kid anybody.
All right, part 2. Quick fire. What would this thing have to do to make you say, no matter what, I'm not buying this piece of shit?
Ooh.
I can tell you real quick. Be all digital, and I'm fucking out.
All right, well, it's only inevitable. You might as well just start playing on that one.
Yeah, you might as well get one of them string fucking sticks.
Not being able to do 60 frames per second consistently, yeah, I'm not getting it for sure.
Yeah, the 60 is big for me, but that's the thing. Like, we both know that's going to be more common.
Call it a PlayStation.
Call it a PlayStation. Remove your bias, sir.
I'm out.
All right. Yeah, that was a little harder because I think they're giving me what I want for sure. But great question there, Biggie Crap. Do you have one thing that you absolutely will not settle for? You will not buy it?
Well, if it's only, we know this isn't a thing, but if it's ever just an only streaming option, then I guess I'd be out.
Oh yeah,
but,
for
sure. Other than that, I'm pretty much in no matter what, man. I just, I like gaming. It's my hobby. As long as I can do it, I'm going to keep doing it. So I'm excited by what I like. The latest, I like the fact, even though I didn't at first, I like the fact that they're doing the upgrades and stuff. I don't mind that now. Like I think it's cool, especially since it's such a big difference between the Xbox One and the X. That is huge for me. You know what I mean? Like that's a phenomenal difference, and that's something I can see. And so I don't mind paying for that and them doing that, right? Like if it was just a cheap little difference, maybe I'd be pissed off. But the fact that it's such a big difference, man, like, yeah, it gets me excited about what the future is going to be.
Is that deal still going on? Trade in the Xbox One S, get 300 towards an X?
Yeah. And it's going on in the UK too, their version of that or whatever. So
people, if you have not done that, trade in your S, even your base model is worth 200, and just get, like, I know you think in 2 years you're fucked and there's just gonna be a new one anyway, but in that, I feel like I already got my money's worth, honestly. To see PC quality visuals, not always frame rates, but visuals on a console like this, extremely nice to have. I mean, it looks phenomenal. And I think it's worth every single penny. But of course, I guess it depends on who you are. Gamescom just happened today. Still going on, actually. But Xbox had their little Inside Xbox episode. And we got a lot to say. Starting with the fact that Xbox All Access, apparently, I'm told by a couple different people it's real. But it's just, they didn't unveil it. And we don't know what All Access is supposed to be. But that wasn't there. And there's a lot of stuff that wasn't there. We'll go over that at the end. But what did you think about, kind of the overall experience so far?
Are you asking me?
Anybody?
Oh, okay. I thought their games. Here's the thing. I didn't look at their Gamescom like I did E3, right? It's not they didn't do a presser. This was an Inside Xbox that happened to coincide with Gamescom. And if you look at the 5 or 6 Inside Xboxes that they've done, they've all been pretty much trash. This one was the best one of the bunch. So,
I mean, the competition wasn't all that great.
Yeah, exactly. There was nobody trying to go through
if they would have the little cage things, the little escape rooms, it would have been better. I think we can all agree. But
yeah, well, I mean, they didn't have that. I'm going to look at that as a positive thing. They announced some new bundles. I think that's cool. I think we all would have liked them to announce maybe some backwards compatible stuff for the Elite 2. But if it is true that they're holding some stuff back for their own event, like PSX later this year, hey, man, I'm all for it because they got some positive stuff out there. Sony didn't even go out there. So props for it. It's too close of a turnaround, really, from E3. Phil Spencer's not even there.
Yeah.
Nobody should have expected a big exclusive announcement because the man's not even there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect that.
Who's going to do it? AC Bongos? Hey, guys, it's me, AC Bongos. Here's a new game. It doesn't work.
In the corner again?
Exactly. So, they did announce that Hunt Showdown games coming to Xbox One, DayZ. Those are pretty interesting things.
Well, here, let me for one, I give a shout out to the chat. Almost 600 people watching live, guys. Let's try to get to 300 for the end of the show. I appreciate it. I'm going to run through all the stuff that they kind of unveiled, and then we can just open topic it. Fuck it. So they did say that Master Chief Collection is 4K enhanced, HDR, all that good stuff. Coming to Game Pass, free update September 1st. Hunt Showdown by Crytek is coming to Game Preview. That's coming very soon. What was that date? I didn't remember the date.
I didn't get the date either. I just wrote it down like an ass. I wrote it down like an ass. So I was just like,
4th, I think, or something.
September 4th for Halo.
Very soon. Yeah. I think Halo's first here in the States.
Oh, okay. Maybe
I'm tripping. PUBG, they basically did a big video and just, hey, we fucked up video. That's all that video was. They talked about how it's getting a full release. The game is officially launching with achievements September 4th. So
they also said the progress of this game preview, I guess, the achievements will look into that. So if there's one for getting a chicken dinner and you've already got one, it's going to pop for you day one.
Yeah, which is great. They did announce a Battlefield 5 bundle as well. No custom console. Well, they do have like a little. I struggle to call that a custom console. What is it? Like a gold tint, Shady? What is it?
It's like half gold out of respect to the military men for their bullet casings. Let's be
honest. The chat here would rather be covered in blood than gold.
It's cash. I'm not down with themed consoles, so don't come to me.
All right.
It's a console that's been left in the sun. That's what it is. They're just showing it off, man.
It's been bleached by the sun. So
you understood that then?
Yeah, you get a PS5 bundle that has you get a console and a game for free. You got State of Decay. You got the Daybreak pack, which comes out September 12th. It's basically just a horde mode. I think that Ultimate Edition, if this is all they're adding, which apparently it is, that's all they've confirmed. I think that Ultimate Edition at almost double the price of a regular game is a little pricey, honestly, because I was hoping for maybe a different type of story expansion, but they added a Blood Plague Juggernaut. They said it's a new freak. It's the same motherfucker. He's just got Blood Plague now. Sea of Thieves, you got the Forsaken Shores DLC coming out September 19th, which comes with, like the ability to have a sail on your ship to put your position on the map at all times so everyone could come find you and try to kill you. You got a Fallout 76 console as well. No custom console in that either, just a plain-ass black Xbox One X. You've got Devil May Cry 5 trailer, which is kind of one of the better things about this conference, in my opinion. The trailer looked pretty legit. It's coming out, March 8th, 2019?
Yeah.
And it looked really good. They weren't joking around when they said we wanted to build state-of-the-art visuals. I want to come back to Devil May Cry for sure. You've also got this game called Sable. Not really sure what that's all about. Kind of a cel-shaded open world type thing. Halo Light Gun. They really doubled down on that, didn't they, Nuke?
Yeah, they love that thing. Man.
Yeah, indeed.
Woo.
But that's a good question. I was saying to somebody this morning, I think when Salty was running his podcast, like I'd actually be interested in buying that game. Say if it came to the Xbox One and they started packing it in with like a plastic light gun again, like the old days, I'd go nuts for something like that. Give me an assault rifle, that actually works with the new TVs and shoot those guys. I'd be down for that.
I was going to say light guns don't work on the new TVs, actually, the way
they'd have to make a new LED light gun.
Yeah, but couldn't they make one that would work with new TVs?
I'm not sure. All the light gun games in the arcades that use those new TVs are all like hardwired that you just kind of move the gun around. You're not actually holding it anymore. So you're not technically aiming. It just knows what you're pointing at because of the gyros in the gun.
Right.
Well, we know how the gyros are made thanks to Gamescom. So, yeah, they did announce that as well. They spent a lot of time on that. You got a Tomb Raider Xbox One X console. No custom console. It's just a plain console. Same for Forza Horizon 4 as well. Am I the only one that's like, what the fuck? Where are the custom consoles at?
Yeah, I don't understand that one. The Forza Horizon 4 one especially, man, would have been nice to see something. I would have bought one.
They could have made it like super vibrant, super. Now, hang on. Before we start in on this, I understand there are some of you out there that eat grape nuts every morning for breakfast. You don't give a fuck about color. You just don't give a shit, right? And then there's a lot of people out there, like my buddy Vicious, who absolutely didn't want to get an Xbox One X until they released a special edition, actual custom console. He's got the Halo 5 console. A lot of people like that console. He wants something like that. It's a little more unique, add some flair. And they just haven't really released one properly, in my opinion, in almost the year that's been out. So just keep in mind that while we're complaining that they could do a better job there, because they can, Sony's been steamrolling them on custom consoles. They just have. Even though a lot of them are ugly as fuck, they're still doing them at least. And I think Microsoft could really knock it out of the park if they just start trying it. So there's just people that don't care. That's fine. But there are also a lot of people that do. And that's who we're speaking for. Why is there no custom Forza Horizon 4 console, Salty?
Shit, someone's siphoning funds out, Like, that's where it's going. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. This is weird, right? Like, what's the reasoning behind not having these custom consoles? It's coming from the top. There's some kind of, I don't know what they did. They're like, hey, we need to save that money because no one's buying them. Or like some analytics person somewhere at Microsoft is saying it's not good because all of a sudden, I think the Minecraft one was the last major customized console that I could remember. And if you look at these boxes, just a plain ass Xbox One X in a game, like what is the motivation? I understand you get the game with the Xbox, and if you don't. Money. If you don't have the console, you don't have an X, then yeah, if you want to get the game, it's incentive there. But damn, dude, like, what's the point here?
Now, crap, wasn't it like the Black Ops 3 PS4 like destroyed everything the year it came out? Like PlayStation 4 sold so many more PlayStations because it had a Black Ops 3 bundle.
It was that and the Star Wars Battlefront bundle with the Darth Vader sticker.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I underestimated that. I was like, who's gonna care about that Darth Vader sticker? And then everybody did.
I don't know. Are they buying it to get the game on the cheap, or are they buying it for the sticker? I think it's a bit of both.
They only bought the thing because of the special edition console. Probably a lot of them, you know.
There could be. There's also a lot of guys that just bought it because.
Look at it this way, man. If you offer more incentives, more will come. So if you got the free game, plus you got a badass unique console, like you don't lose there.
With the Forza one, they should have gone with the color scheme of that cover car of theirs. That would have been pretty cool.
But look at the Sony thing, right? With the Sony Spider-Man console, you got a lot of Sony guys who already have a PlayStation 4 or a Pro, and then now they're willing to go out and buy this console or get rid of their other ones just to get this console, which, again, is more money. It's more console sales. It doesn't make sense. Sony can do it. Why don't Microsoft? I mean, obviously doing it plenty with controllers. They're coming out the yin-yang.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, I got more than one controller, and I'm still buying them. And you know what? People game a lot, okay? It's their number one hobby. They spend a lot of money, and they probably have some money to burn. They want something that's a little more unique, right? And that Spider-Man console looked fire, in my opinion. I've heard people that don't have a PS4 saying, I'm getting the Pro because of that console. That's why. That's the sole reason I'm looking for. I'm kind of like interested in Spider-Man, but that Pro sealed the deal. And like I said, Sony have done a lot of them, and it helps. They look different. I think a lot of them have been ugly, like the God of War one covered in doilies, right, Noof? I didn't like the way that one looked. I thought it was hideous. The Battlefront 2 one didn't look great. The Call of Duty Slim didn't look great to me. A World War II game with a 1980s Chinese camo on it. It just, I don't know, but at least they're still doing things. And then they nailed it with the Spider-Man one. So I agree with Shady. Do some colors, like not like Battlefield 1 bundles where you had a teal one and a green one. That's not good enough. I'm talking full on, full blown Titanfall style, Halo 5 style custom consoles.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm talking about. D, do you see the appeal? Please tell me you do.
Definitely. It's so many missed opportunities. Like the Forza, you could have did so many things with the Forza, different color palettes. They actually had one. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. It didn't look too bad. They at least attempted, you know. I think it was like
Forza 6 one, the blue one, you mean?
Yeah. So that at least they attempted it. But just to see the plain white console, just like you guys, I was disappointed when I saw that shit. I was like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
Real quick, do you guys think it has some?
Microsoft will be like, "Hey man, we'll throw in a $5 pack of stickers. You can help yourself."
Yeah, just color on it. Here's some paint. What were you saying, Salty?
No, do you guys think it's something with the design, since it's such a forward-thinking design on the console? There's a lot of it's smaller than normal because I don't think we've seen a real intense customized console yet since it's released. I don't know if it has.
Here's what we can speak on real quick. The Gears 4 box looks fucking raw. It's the same size as the X, pretty much the same design, and they did a phenomenal job. I have the Gears 4 box in the other room. Like they went as far as laser etching and lighting the console on fire to burn scratch marks into it. Like they can do it, and they have done it on a similarly sized box. I don't know why they're not doing it on the X yet. Daz, why do you think this is?
I ain't got a fucking clue. Beer! Yeah, I ain't got a clue, mate. To a collector, it could be a big deal, but to someone that just wants to play games, I don't think it's a big issue.
I'll tell you what. I had a fat Xbox One. The Gears 4 box made me buy an S. It had the game. It just incentive after incentive. It had the S. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, man. You don't even got to be a collector.
Well, look, if I wanted a custom-built console, I'd just let the kids loose with Crayola. Off you go, kids, you know what I mean? Fuck it.
Crap,
but to a collector, or not a collector, you know what I mean? Beer!
Yeah.
Well,
you know, no. It's more of an issue for a collector, in my opinion, than a non-collector.
Yeah.
Like collectors buy multiple consoles. Like I own multiple Xbox 360s, right? So when they came out with like the Star Wars one, I liked that. I bought it. When they came out with the Halo one, I bought it. When they came out with the Gears one, I bought it. I would buy multiple Xbox One X's as well. I think it has to do with maybe budgetary. It takes time to plan those out, from what I understand. And I'm only basing that on because I talked with Craig Duncan, who's the head of Rare, right before they launched Sea of Thieves, and I asked him, I was like, why didn't you guys do a custom console for this? And he replied, well, it takes a lot of advanced planning to do something like that. And Microsoft has to really believe in the game. So apparently, that was probably a bit of a problem. I'm happy that they are getting some third-party deals finally. I think that's cool. But at the same time, it would have been nice to see at least the Forza one, because that's going to be fire. That's going to be like Playground Games are the only developer who has consistently done well for you this entire generation. So
that's why Craig's comments kind of suspect, because they do believe in Forza. The last one sold fucking 5, 6, 7 million copies of some stupid shit. Speaking of sales, Trash Gamer with a trash comment. He says that there are no custom consoles because the X isn't selling very well. Well, sir, we like to keep things linkable here. Go ahead and link me in the chat where you found that information. And I'll also remind you that the X was vastly outselling the Pro when it launched, both of them in the same part of their life cycles. In the first month, in the first 6 months, everyone here remembers the stories the Xbox One X outselling the Pro in the same relative time span with a $100 increase on its price, even still. So I don't know where you're getting that from. Probably some propaganda channels. So yeah, it's definitely not because of that. It's not like they mass produce these custom consoles by the millions, right? They kind of just, it's kind of a more rare thing. So that doesn't make any sense anyway. But anybody else got anything to add to this custom console thing? I just would like to see more. I'll take that as a no.
just buy some skins and let it bubble up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Darth Vicious, my buddy in the chat, he's done that, and they just peel off, man. They just peel off. He had some cool ones, and they just peel off, man. They're all trash.
Lay it horizontal. Who plays vertical? Jesus.
Depends
it's
how
besides the point, Shady. It's besides the point.
Gravity will keep the sticker on.
Yeah. Which leads me to my real issue with Gamescom. Was the fact that they had those Game Pass advertisements out. Okay, there were people on the show floor that were tweeting about this. They were confused. They thought that I did a video on it. I showed the pictures in the video. Basically, they would have like Rise of the Tomb Raider to the left and Shadow of the Tomb Raider to the right next to it, literally like an inch away from it, and then a big giant fucking Game Pass sign above that. Okay, now at the very least, I've heard it called confusing. I would call it misleading. And that's just being 100% about it. That kind of advertising, that because they were advertising Game Pass to everyone on that floor. I saw those things on the stream a few different times. It's not something they aimed a camera at and zoomed in on, but you definitely saw it. It was misleading at the very least, right, Crap?
Yeah, you know what? I saw particularly Boomstick, right? Like, he is just... I don't have a problem with game. I think it's going to be great. And I think it is a fantastic value right now. But I think that a lot of people, myself included, would love there to be a huge third-party game in their day and date. And he was like tweeting it out. He's like, "Oh my God, it's happening! They're gonna really lay the hammer down with this." And I was just like, I don't know, because when you start looking into it, like it was like the Division 2 was the same thing. There was a picture of that, and same thing with Metro Exodus. And kind of when you look closer at some of the other shots, it was like, okay, you can play the previous game, which is in Game Pass on those, or buy the new one digitally in the Xbox store or whatever. Horrible marketing. And I tweeted out, I was like, Microsoft is going to get some shit for this.
As they should. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty stupid thing. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be better.
Right, both of them directly under the Game Pass sign. Like,
that's as bad as Sony doing, like, putting exclusive in big letters under stuff like Red Dead 2, and then in little tiny print go exclusive hat. You know what I mean? Like, it's bullshit. Like, it's
Foxfire in the super chat. She says they just can't top the Gears 4 console, so why try? She was disappointed when they didn't show any either. Thank you so much. Shout out to Foxfire. I agree, Crap. It's I just didn't I didn't like it. I don't want them to advertise like that. I do not want them to market like that, and that's why I really talked about it. The other thing was the custom consoles that I had a problem with, the lack of, me personally, as I just said. But other than that, I thought the show was good for people that wanted to see gameplay, just games, information. I didn't have a problem with the rest of the show to the extent that some others did.
Yeah,
so, it was just an update of E3. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Beer.
Well, at least they kept the interviews a little bit shorter and more on point. You know what I mean? It was about the games. The focus was there. We did see some new stuff. We saw a rehash of some of the old stuff that we saw from E3. I don't think most people legitimately went in thinking this is going to be like a blow my mind Gamescom, because they did enough of that with E3. So right now it's more about making sure that these games get out on time, they run well, and there's some demonstrations and stuff. But I mean, I wasn't expecting anything crazy. And you know what? They did actually release a controller. It just wasn't an Elite 2. We saw the PUBG controller, which actually looked kind of interesting, to be honest with you. But outside of that, it was kind of a, be what it was kind of show. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was certainly terrible. If you think it was terrible, then I'd like to know what your thoughts were on last year's, where they sat on that couch and it was absolutely, oh my God. You guys remember that, right?
Yeah, I remember
Shannon Loftus and
making a Gamescom 2017 suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything to say on this at all?
Yeah, I thought the show overall was good. That Devil May Cry footage is awesome. Like, I have some 4K capture of it, and it just looks incredible. And there's some other news that are leaking out after some of these shows. Like, there's a Resident Evil remake on the Xbox One X in 4K, and that looks beautiful too.
As far as the Game Pass marketing goes, I say bring on the smoke and mirrors, fight fire with nuclear fire. They've been destroyed by it this whole gen by Sony smoke and mirrors marketing. I don't like it either, but I'm an educated person. It doesn't fall on me, but it does trick a lot of other retards out there. I'm saying it. just do what you got to do to sell
Calm
consoles.
down, Shady. Calm down.
I have something to say following
slow.
Shout out to Dave Lacker real quick. He says he's a slave to a company he doesn't own stock in. So we wish you the best, buddy. Hopefully you get a job there.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Good talk. Yeah. So I was wondering if Michael Pachter made all these predictions because they were all wrong. Yeah. That's all I got to say.
I've never seen so many wrong before, to be honest with you. Like, so it is strange.
That's what we were saying at the beginning of the show. It's never been this bad before. The leaks are there's usually like 60-70% accuracy at least.
Yeah, I was honestly expecting the Elite 2, right? I mean, like Tom Warren, Jez, everybody's like, yeah, we're getting this and this, or it looks like we're gonna get this, and then you just nothing. Like, there was nothing like it. So kind of a little. I mean, they must have other plans. They must have said, hey, screw it, we're gonna do something else, because they did say they're doing. Well, I don't know, but they got to do something. If they're going to do a PSX style show, they got to announce it within the next month. So,
yeah, that's another thing too with those of us in the loop. We knew all the leaks. We got them from really good sources as usual, and then none of it happened. So obviously, we're going to be like, "What the hell?" But I'm not holding that against Gamescom. That was just. I was told that they changed things up after Warren leaked the Washburn stuff.
Yeah,
and I don't know how accurate that is, but that's a company that's maneuverable, to say the least, if they're doing that. So to sum that up, you're right, crap. There was no Elite, which I definitely expected. There was no date on the new avatars, which is a year behind schedule at this point. Stupid.
What's funny is the old avatars look better.
Yeah.
Just use your fucking gamer tag. Fucking avatar. Who cares?
Ashen doesn't have a date. I just started to throw that out there. Minecraft 4K update, still almost a year later. What is taking that so long?
I have no idea. Maybe because it's coming to other platforms. I don't know.
It's too graphically demanding. Like the patch.
They're waiting to put ray tracing in on it.
And then, as I said, the Xbox All Access didn't happen either, which I thought when I saw those little pictures, I was like, okay, Xbox All Access, rumored to be some kind of consolidation service, like maybe the Game Pass Plus Live, or maybe even a tier like Netflix, right? You got the $10 one, the $14 one. Maybe it's like, hey, you pay this much and you get access to Metro and fair. I know it's crazy, but fuck, why not? So I combined those two plus the Game Pass pictures on the wall, and I was like, could this happen? We'll see. And it just didn't happen. So I don't know, man. Sometimes just wishful thinking. But at the end of the day, guys, that's about all the time we got on the topics. Thank you guys for stopping by. Hit that like button. Let's try to get the free for the end of the show. This is kind of a short show. That's what I like about it, man. I know you were saying that too, Crap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I podcast every day this week, so yeah, it's gonna be that sometimes, man, that how that is, dude. When you get that in, it's
Last
kind of a
E3
grind.
we were dead. Like
Jesus, dude, I podcasted 18 hours, man. Like it was crazy,
damn.
dude. It was
You
insane.
got a telethon or something? What the hell?
Oh, dude. Well, I try to help everybody out. I try to coordinate so it's not a bunch of people stepping on other people's toes. You know what I mean? I try to be as good a guy as I can be, and people also. I have a strong opinion on this stuff. So like I try to say, oh, well, if you need some help, I'll help you out. So I was like, I was helping out a lot of people. So that's 2 E3s in a row, man. I did like marathon style stuff, but it's fun, man. It's funny. It's like, if you don't have fun with it, you don't do it. Like you wouldn't do it. So I'm having more fun now than I have in a long time. So I love it, man. It's gonna get even better, man. The games coming out and stuff like that have me more excited than ever. I'm excited, man, as a gamer. If you're a gamer, just chill out for a second and just look at how awesome the games are coming, how awesome they look, and you should be excited about that instead of some of the others.
Well, according to Bruce City, the Xbox has no games this moron. So
I have 645 games on my Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know, Bruce City. What exactly are you playing at this moment, buddy? Because I know you're not still playing God of War. You're probably playing multi-plats like the rest of us, perhaps, or maybe you just don't play games and you're just too busy saying there are no games. Maybe you have no games and that's why you say there are no games. I don't know, but nevertheless, buddy, go fuck yourself. We're gonna get out of here and we're gonna see some episodes. Crap, let everyone know where they can find you, bud.
Crap Gamer Reviews. I got Xbox Nation tomorrow night, so come check that out. It's gonna be a good show. We're gonna talk about some of this stuff again, but hey, you'll get to hear Mooch rant and talk about food comparisons and stuff like that. So it should be fun.
Mm-hmm. Noof, where can people find you? What do you got too? We do this thing now too, because it's the end of the show. Why not? What have you been playing, by the way, Crap?
You know what? I'm playing Shenmue 2, but I've been into Madden a lot. I know, right? Like, but it looks great, and I'm a big football fan, and I like playing Madden, man. Sue me.
Hey, let everyone else chat. Let everyone know what you're playing as well as we're outroing here. Noof, where can people find you, man? What have you been playing?
Well, just let me say one thing, and that is crap. I echo your sentiments, man. You got to love doing this podcasting stuff. Otherwise, it's pretty much pointless. And if you wanted to spend most of your day talking to somebody who doesn't listen, then get married. It's pretty simple.
Beer.
No, beer. In all seriousness, no, I've been playing Far Cry 5. I just about finished that. I got one main mission to go, but I'm kind of doing some of the odd side stuff. Just downloaded Tomb Raider Anniversary. Apparently, like I skipped that game when it came out on the 360. That I've been playing just a bunch of stuff. Trying to get rid of the backlog, like Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus. Amazing game, people. If you don't have that yet, please go pick it up. It's great. That sort of stuff, man. But yeah, that's about it for me. Thanks for having me on the panel tonight, Dealer. It was a good show. And to everybody in the chat, kudos to you guys. Catch you later.
Yeah. And I encourage everyone to try Doom out. We got some guys in the chat saying they're playing Doom. Phenomenal game. And Rise of the Tomb Raider. If you are one of those that still has not booted up Rise of the Tomb Raider after everything I've said about it, shame on you.
Go to PS4.
Ah, gosh. Play Rise of the Tomb Raider. Slap it in the frame rate mode and fucking just chill and play the game. Phenomenal. One of the best games of the generation. Sequel comes out next month. So now's your chance. It's in Game Pass. It's got 4K assets. It's enhanced. It looks fucking phenomenal. Daz, what have you been playing? Where can people find you?
Yeah, I've been playing Tales of the Borderlands. I've already completed it on one of my gaming tags, but I've got two because I'm fucking greedy. So I've been playing that again while drinking a beer. Yeah, playing a bit of Doom, a bit of Infinity War, believe it or not, because I'm catching my gamer score up on my other gamer tag. So yeah, you can find me at Twitter and YouTube UK Dazarus. And cheers for having us on, Dealer, even though I couldn't understand the fucking word I said. Awesome.
Something about chicken nuggets or something.
Yeah, chicken nuggets and kebab, yeah. And beer.
The chat's translating every word, though, man. No, I heard you. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I see you just piling away on those Neo Geo games, man.
Yeah, sometimes I haven't played it.
Achievement whore.
I'm achievement slut, yeah. I think man. I'm nearly at 12,000 this month, so I'll bring it on.
Jesus.
Yeah, you're ranting it hard right now. Hey, Brady, where can we find you, man? What you been playing?
I have been putting some serious work into Doom again. I absolutely adore that game, and I can't put it down, both the multiplayer and the single player, trying to 100% this sucker. Everyone can find me at So Shady at the Sesh Empire on Twitter for everything politically incorrect and gaming. Come check it out.
All right, D-Batch, what have you been playing? Where can people find you?
I've been playing a little bit of Wolfenstein and Madden, and people can find me on Twitter at D_Batch, and of course on YouTube at D-Batch. And I did the article yesterday on the new NVIDIA GPUs, the RTX line, so you guys can check that video out.
Man, you sound like you're gonna die, man. Yeah, we all are. Yeah, good show, brother. Go check out D's video. And of course we've got Salty. What have you been playing, and where can people find ya?
Hey, I've been playing this game called Flippin' Death. It's dope. It's actually pretty fun. I have a review coming out tomorrow, so check that out. Second podcast today was fucking amazing. I love talking about games, so thanks for the invite. We have Xbox Nation tomorrow, and then the Salty's Gaming Podcast at 9 o'clock on Thursday. We have a contest going on for $60 for either Nintendo, Xbox, or PlayStation, so make sure you enter that. That's
I've entered it, Salty. Yeah.
Sweet. Hey. Hopefully you win, man.
I fucking hope so, I know.
Well, hey, I just finished up Batman Enemy Within, the second season of Batman Telltale, and I don't normally play those games, but narrative's pretty good. Good game.
Yeah.
I said this before. I've been playing that with my girl.
Those are awesome. I like those. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good, and they're revamping. I guess they're retooling and kind of building a new engine. So expect much better looking Telltale games in the future. I'd say in the next couple of years. So I don't know. That's the last thing I played. Battlefield 1's been another one. The party chat issue, the glitch with the performance is fixed. So if you want to play Battlefield 1 party chat, you can now do that. Should have never been a problem in the first place. But other than that, yeah, that's I'm waiting for Spider-Man. So let me know what you guys have been playing in the comments down below. Like I said, hit that like button on our way out, guys. We're out.
Later.
Later, Pete.